Good afternoon, everyone. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. How are you guys? How are you? It's Wednesday afternoon. Yay! Round three. Probably a 4, maybe 5 today. It's going to be a busy day. I have a lot I want to talk about. But welcome to my channel. If you are brand new, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new and you love what I'm doing, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button, and then turn those notifications on by actually pressing on the bell. If you're having trouble with notifications and you are already a subscriber, make sure that you set the notifications for all instead of personalized. And then if you're still having problems after that, make sure you check out my social media where I post links to my lives before I go live. All right, okay, so we are going to talk about Jessica Simpson. I cover a lot of different topics on this channel, but one thing that is near and dear to my heart is anyone that is going through something. You know how you just know people are going through something and they're hiding it, or they haven't, you know something's going on, but you can't put your finger on it, or you think you know, but you don't know, and people have a public presence, like say Jessica Simpson, where they say things that seem odd, rambling, incoherent at times. Yeah, that's right. Jessica Simpson, the woman who has over $1 billion empire for clothing, shoes, handbags. She has crafted a empire here, which she started theoretically after she was on the Newlywed Show with Nick Lachey. That's how so many of us got to know her, although she is a singer. That's how it all started. She was actually a singer the same time as pop stars like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera were popular. So Jessica, who didn't have as much success in the singing venue as those two girls, and hasn't had as many public meltdowns as those two girls, is now finally coming clean in a new memoir about her years-long battle with alcoholism and an addiction to pills. Right? Now, when I saw this headline on People, I can't say that I was surprised, okay? Because there's been plenty of times throughout the years that she has appeared in interviews where I was like, is she drunk? But being that it was Jessica and that she kind of had this quirky personality, it was hard to know. She was always sort of off the cuff. But People magazine actually broke the story, and she has a new memoir coming out called Open Book. And on Instagram, she actually shared this, and it says, "Thank you to People for helping me share my story. There is so much beauty on the other side of fear, and I hope my truth can help. I can't wait to share Open Book with you." And then she shared this. And then she's also, interestingly, recording the entire book on audio, and it'll be in her voice. So she said, recording the audiobook of Open Book to one of the most purposeful experiences of my career. It broke me down both physically and emotionally, but I hope everyone who listens will feel my soul and hear my truth through my voice. The new songs I am releasing with the audiobook are what inspired me to write the memoir, and they are the musical counterpart to the story. I'm so proud of this creation. I hope you love it. So not only will she be releasing a new memoir, but she will also be releasing new music, which she has not done in years. So if you are a fan, and Jessica has a beautiful voice, beautiful. I would say far more beautiful than Britney Spears. I never really understand why Britney was so incredibly famous. But her book, which is going to be released by HarperCollins, I believe, has this for its description, and it says, Jessica reveals for the first time her inner monologue and most intimate struggles, guided by the journal she's kept since age 15 and brimming with her unique humor and down-to-earth humanity. Open Book is inspiring as it is entertaining. This was supposed to be a very different book. 5 years ago, Jessica Simpson was approached to write a motivational guide to living your best life. She walked away from the offer and nobody understood why. The truth is that she didn't want to lie. Jessica couldn't be authentic with her readers if she wasn't fully honest with herself first. Now, America's sweetheart, preacher's daughter, pop phenomenon, reality TV pioneer, and billion-dollar fashion mogul invites readers as a remarkable into her remarkable journey, examining a life that's blessed her with the compassion to help others, but also burdened her with an almost crippling need to please. Open book is Jessica Simpson using her voice, heart and soul, and humor to share things she never shared before. And then it says, first celebrated for her voice, she became one of the most talked about women in the world, whether for music and fashion, her relationship struggles, or walking blonde a joke. But now, instead of being talked about, Jessica is doing the talking. Her book shares the wisdom and inspiration she's learned and shows the real woman behind all the pop culture cliches, chicken and fish, Daisy Duke, football jinx, mom jeans, blah, 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 okay? So she is going to break it all down, okay? So in her interview, the People magazine actually got an excerpt of the book. Now, when I was looking through it and when I was reading the article, I was like, something seems familiar about her being an addict, okay? And then I started looking at headlines, and it was like this. Jessica Simpson needs help from hubby Eric Johnson after partying in Hollywood. And then Jessica Simpson drunk during her live appearance on Home Shopping Network. Jessica Simpson stumbles out of her husband's birthday dinner. Jessica Simpson's fun and drunk night. Photos of her completely hammered and her husband literally like holding her up. So many of these. So, according to Jessica, she said that she was killing herself with drinking and pills. She got sober in November 2017, and she hasn't had a drink since. She told people that giving up alcohol was easy. I was mad at the bottle, at how it allowed me to stay complacent and numb. She has been in therapy, and she attends therapy twice a week, and she said that's been the hard part. She said, she wrote in her book, with work, I have allowed myself to feel traumas I'd been through. And one of the things that she had been keeping secret for a really long time was a childhood experience with a family friend that did very inappropriate things with her when she was a young girl. So she says that she was 6 years old and she shared a bed with the daughter of a family friend. And she said, it would start with tickling my back and then go into things that were extremely uncomfortable. She said, frozen in fear, she worried it was somehow her fault. I wanted to tell my parents I was the victim, but somehow I felt it was wrong. When she was 12, she finally told her parents, Tina and Joe, while they were driving on a car trip. And she said that her mother slapped her father's arm and yelled at him, I told you something was happening. And she wrote, Dad kept his eye on the road and said nothing. We never stayed at my parents' friend's house again, but we also didn't talk about what I said. Can you imagine being 12 years old and telling your parents something like that and then nothing? You don't see the person again, but then you never talk about it again? My God. She, in the midst of all of this, rises to superstardom. And she said that she actually, over the years, just learned to stuff it all down by using a mix of alcohol and stimulants, which could explain her fluctuating weight that she's had for so many years. In one of the book's most moving scenes, she actually wrote about hitting her rock bottom at a Halloween party in her home in 2017. She said she told her closest friends, I need to stop, something's got to stop, and if it has to be alcohol that's doing this and making things worse, then I quit. Her friends gathered around her in a group and haven't left her side since. With the support of her parents and help from a team of doctors and twice weekly therapy, she's been sober since that day and calls her newfound clarity a continual gift. And she wrote, when I finally said I needed help, it was like I said the little girl that found her calling again in life. I found direction, and that was to walk straight ahead with no fear. Honesty is hard, but it's the most rewarding thing we have, and getting to the other side is beautiful. She told people that she hopes the book will help others to know they are not alone. She said, "It's been a long, hard, deep emotional journey, one that I've come through the other side with pure happiness and fulfillment and acceptance of myself. I've used my pain and turned it into something that can be beautiful and hopefully inspiring to people." So she, her dad, man, her dad has a reputation, right, for being kind of like a creep. He was always sort of like talking about her in a way that was not appropriate for a father, sort of about her certain body parts. And, you know, the fact that they didn't say anything to her or get her help, I guess, shouldn't really surprise me, given that her dad and mom were sort of looked at as sort of stage moms and dads. They were like obsessed with making her and helping her get famous. And so it sounds like this trauma happens, she tells them, but then she's like on this like trajectory of getting fame. And then with fame and money comes exposure to all kinds of different things. And no matter how much money she's made, and she has made billions. I mean, think about that. She is so wealthy, and she is still at home for years and years and years, just not dealing with this and drinking. Like, that's heartbreaking. And I've always really liked Jessica Simpson. I've always loved her candor, because no matter what, no matter where she's been, she always was real. Like, she's funny, she's humble, she's who she is. And she's not someone that ever seems like she's away from everyone else. And so I'm actually I'm thinking about actually picking this book up. It comes out on February 4th. I haven't decided if I want to do the audiobook. I don't know if I'd have time for the audiobook. But I'd love to hear this story in her own words and in her own voice. So I'm debating downloading the actual audio so I can hear it from her directly. But I would definitely, pre-orders are actually being accepted right now on Amazon if you're interested in getting it ahead of the February 4th release. All right, you guys, are you looking forward to this? Are you surprised by this? I know I'm not necessarily surprised about the alcoholism. I'm surprised about sort of what happened in her childhood and why stuffing that down sort of led to all of this. But at the same time, I'm glad she's using this as a way to help other people. She continues to always find a way to use her platform to be inspirational and provide humility and laughter to so many different people. So I would love to congratulate Jessica for being honest and trying to help others, because that's the best we can do when we are going through something. All right, you guys, tell me more about your thoughts in the comments below, and I will be back later.